Alright, today we're working on an '07 Subaru Tribeca. Customer wants the throttle plate taken off only, and he would like it cleaned out and the gasket replaced. He evidently keeps getting codes back on the vehicle, and he wants it replaced so that way the codes won't keep coming back. So we're just going to pull the top off of here, remove this, set it aside, and all he's wanting done is there's a gasket right here you can see. He wants that replaced. He says he looked it up somewhere and for some reason it keeps throwing a code. So we're going to remove this, then we're going to remove this, but I'm going to look it up and see if we got a water line that cools this throttle plate. We don't want to disconnect it if we don't have to, but we want to make sure that if we do, you know, we're going to have to bleed it again. This customer had fluid in it that he put the wrong fluid in it. He had hoses that were blown. We had to change a couple of hoses on it previously. Put the right fluid finally back in it. I don't know if somebody switched it out on him or what, or he did it himself, but we're trying to get him squared away. When you bleed this car, there's a lot of problems with bleeding it. Evidently there's a valve behind here, up and back in here, that you have to open up first when you're filling it, and then there's a valve on the radiator as well. So it's up here on this side. I'm not going to go into how to bleed it, but we bled it before, so if we open up anything and expose this to air, we'll have to re-bleed it again. However, we're going to try not to do that. So I'm going to do some homework on it first and make sure. This is a '07 Tribeca. We're just cleaning the throttle plate because it's real nasty. The butterfly, we'll clean that with a toothbrush, and we won't be spraying anything directly into it because there is a throttle motor. So what you do is you spray carb cleaner onto the toothbrush and clean it and wipe it out with a rag as you're doing it. I'll show you that as I do it. Okay, I'm going to zoom you in here so you can see this. I'm going to back you out just about right there. There are two coolant hoses that I've found so far. One is this one, and then there's one that comes right in the front at an angle. It actually, from what I can see, it arcs around and goes back down into a steel pipe underneath. But it's right underneath this in the front. There's two lines. One goes in, one comes out. So we can't take those out. We can only move it forward to clean it. And we're going to remove the air cleaner real quick. Little hose back here on the side of it. We're going to take the hose clamp off. Pull that off. Do is put a torque wrench on here. Yep. I'd say 70 is about right. 72, so that's 6 foot-pounds. Take the sensor off. Remember, there's two hoses on here, so don't take the hoses off. just going to lean it forward and clean the plate out. Take the socket off. Forward. Now you got all 4 out. All you can do is lean that forward. Just push it forward. We'll clean this all out. Put me a screwdriver in it. Soft end of it so it won't close. I'm going to try doing it on the bottom side instead. Hold it like that for right now. Okay, all I'm doing is putting rags down here to capture all the nasty that comes out of it. Because I will be getting it wet, but I'm not putting any up in this motor over here. So all I'm doing is going to be spraying a towel. I take a towel, wet like this, put my nozzle on it. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll try to zoom you in the actual housing. As you can see, I'm cleaning that lip where that butterfly sits, and I'm going to clean that edge. If you look at the edge of it real close, see that black carbon on there? Let's see that upper edge. I'm cleaning all that out of there. So I'm using a soft bristle toothbrush, and that's what we're looking for. We're cleaning all that out. This car will breathe 100% better. Now look at that edge though. Sometimes that edge just enough to disrupt the airflow. One last shot across the front. Head out of the way. Okay. Surface of that angle right there. I'm going to clean that plate up. Wipe all your surfaces down. Get off of that. And there you go. That thing's clean as a whistle. Pull all your stuff out now. You have a little carb cleaner on this. I don't just recommend putting a lot of carb cleaner on your plastic. Never do that. Pull your gasket out. Put your new one in. This helps your car idle at idle. Cleaning this out will make it run real smooth at idle. It breathes better. That butterfly is so close in a tolerance up against that housing that that carbon distorts airflow. So all we're going to do, we're going to put this back in here. sure your gasket's in there, because it sits out about 1/8 of an inch. And make sure it's in the groove. It's got to mash it. You got a little tang that comes up here in the front. Put that on there. Go back with the bolts. All 4 bolts are the same, so you have to worry about what's longer or shorter. All I'm going to do is snug it up, and then I'll torque it. You can see when it pulls it flat. As it's pulling it up, I kind of go to the next one. Keeps it straight. Feel them snug out. Don't go too tight with them. Just when they start touching. Alright, now we go to 72. And that's it. It's not very much. 72 inch-pounds is not very much. Double check them crosshaired, and I'll go to the other ones. This way you don't have carburetor cleaner in your intake to start it up, which will cause erratic sensor codes, misfires. So you clean it with the toothbrush, and that way it'll keep you from having those kind of problems. Spraying the toothbrush itself instead of spraying it through. Everybody wants to spray it in there, clean it with wire brushes. Do not clean it with a wire brush, whatever you do. And that's it. 72 inch-pounds is all you need. We'll put this back in there. Slide that back on. These get 4 foot-pounds. I did find those. Oops, did something wrong. Put this back on. Don't forget to put that back on. Like I say, if you need to bleed your system, you take this off. So you can get back to that bleed screw. Snug them down. So 4 foot-pounds is 48 inch-pounds. I'm just going to go 50 on these because it was like 4.4. So I'm just going to go 50 on. Won't hurt nothing. This is a bracket for that plastic cover, but it'll get the torque. Won't hurt nothing. And you won't go too tight with it. Tighten this one up. And what I do is I'll hold one side all the way in, tighten it up. And there's one hose on your air cleaner that goes back here. I'll put it on. Okay, like I said, we didn't take off any of the water hoses, so we don't have no problem with them. Everything's back to tightness. 2 bolts, air hose. All 4 of these are torqued back to spec, 6 foot-pounds. Just figured I'd show you the cover going back on, how you put it on. So basically, you put the back on first. Kind of set it down in there. There's like a little spring action when you get it lined up. And you just put these down here in the front, but it's kind of hard to see the pins. what you do is you kind of pull it forward to it, and that way they line up. But it's a little difficult to do when you got it in there, so there you go. You lift up on the back and you'll see, got to hook them in the back first, pull it forward. And that way you know it's hooked there, and then the front's pushed down. That's it. That's all there is to it. I'm going to check his fluid, make sure he's topped off. I don't know why he's not full. Well, it didn't take that much. It didn't take that much. I just topped it off, and I'm going to put the cap back on it. All right, make sure you use Subaru coolant in this thing only. Don't use anything else.